So today we're gonna compare all the main World Cup levels plus,
Nein, ich hatte 50%.
plus Division 2 ones.
Ich war auch bei diesem Portal, das ist richtig
And
nervig.
we're gonna rank them all.
Aber das Spiel macht irgendwie süchtig.
From easiest to hardest. Stereo Madness I find is the easiest level. It's just very easy.
Was? Ich hab doch
No, I died
gerade
you.
ein YouTube-Video.
It took me 90 attempts to beat it first time. But it's very simple, very easy. Next up is Back on Track. Back on Track is also a very easy level. I would say it's from 1 to 10. 1. It's very easy, so 1. Polo Guys
Holy shit,
is
it's not.
a step up from Back on Track and it's still very, very easy. Rank this these parts together
Die ganze Zeit an dem
2 stars.
Oh, du bist weiter wie ich.
Try out. Next up is Base After Base, which I would rank this 3 out of 10. 4th. Because I find it pretty easy. The Base After Base is very easy. Same with Tryout, but Tryout is a little bit harder. It introduces the upside down pull. It's pretty tough to get used to. But I think it's harder, not easier than Jumper.
Ah!
Next, and speaking of Jumper, I think Jumper is the 6th easiest level. I would rank this 3 out of 10 in difficulty. It's pretty easy, but there are some parts, and I'm not counting out the coins. And Jumper is pretty easy. Same with Can't It Go, but Can't It Go is a little bit because of that upside down section in Can't It Go. It's pretty tough.
Was?
And the level
Ja.
is pretty hard
Ist
too.
das traurig?
Time Machine is
Ich hab schon 27.
also pretty tough, but also pretty hard. But I would rank this 4 out of 10 in
Sterbt die
difficulty.
ganze Zeit.
The Trooper Spikes are pretty tough. There's 13 Trooper Spikes, but despite Trooper Spikes, I find several to be pretty simple. Next, 9th is Blast Processing.
Okay. Jetzt Portal.
Blast Processing is the easiest of the Pro 11.
Fertig sterben.
Yeah, it's very easy. It's easier than Psycho, it's easier than Theory, easier than X-Step. And it's very simple. It has introduced the wave. The UFO parts are very, very simple. Ship parts too, and so are the ball parts.
Ja, oder meine
Next,
Bakterien fällt mir gerade auf.
ignore the notifications. Ignore that.
Weiß ich irgendwie, aber ich
Next up is X-Step.
will das mit den Prüfungen schnell durch.
X-Step is easier than Cyclops because the ball is pretty easy. Ball parts are pretty easy. The
Ich hab noch Corona.
cube parts are pretty easy,
Viele können sich das nehmen.
but
Ja,
there's
schon
one
wirklich
hard
diese
cube
sehr
part
langen
at
Themen.
the middle of the section.
Warum schaffe ich das bei diesen 3 Stücken?
And ship parts aren't as tough. Next up, to surprise, I find theory to be
Steht das so one try durch und sie sind
to be easier than Cycles because Cycles just
wieder an der gleichen
has
Stelle.
very hard transitions. But theory has very easy ship
Immer an dem
section,
gleichen Level.
has very easy UFO sections, and also has very easy ball sections and cube sections. Next up, Cycles. Cycles is hard because of the beginning, but the rest of the level is a cakewalk.
Den habt ihr eigentlich als Englisch-Version.
It's the wall parts are very easy, and so are the ship parts, but the beginning cube is so hard.
Ich glaube, ihr bekommt als nächstes
Next up is Finger Dash.
Sogar ist es ganz nett.
Finger Dash is a little bit harder than TOE
Ich habe halt jetzt
just because of that spider part at the end. It's pretty tough,
Ich hab Angst.
but still doable.
Ich hab ein bisschen Prozent weiter.
Another one of the easier ones
Scheiße,
is
das ist wirklich richtig nervig.
Electromagnet Adventures. This level is also pretty easy,
Ich
but
habe 56% geschafft.
the mini cube is pretty. There's a little bit know-how with the mini cube at the end. There's some fakes and
Ich kann langsam
Stop
diesen
Wings,
eine
Fix.
Stelle auswendig.
next up is Geometrical Dominator. Geometrical Dominator would be easier than Electromagnet Adventures
Bin mal
if
mein
it didn't have the dark part
Bei meinem
or
30. Versuch.
the
Ja.
ending robot. Everything else is pretty fairly easy. Pretty easy. Next is Hexagon Force. Hexagon Force introduces the dual mode, which is pretty tough, but the dual parts are super hard, except that one part after the dual part gets introduced with the jumpings, you have to jump late.
Ich mag diese Flugteile nicht.
Yeah, Hexagon Force is the 6th hardest level,
Ich will das als Anime.
but around the same difficulty as Geometrical Dominator.
Oh, geil. Ich wollte schon immer so ein Video sehen.
Next up is Clutterfunk. Clutterfunk is also very,
Komm
very
schon,
tough.
mitten, wo ich meinen neuen
So tough. It's the rocket sections are
Hallo?
insane. The mini rockets are also
Okay,
very
dann, ich komm
insane.
jetzt runter. Ciao. Bis da. Wir können ja telefonieren, wann wir uns nächstes Mal treffen wollen.
Insane.
Ich hoffe, wir können uns.
Yeah, and it has pretty tough mini cube sections. Next up is Electrodynamics. Electrodynamics is very fun, but it has very hard ship section. The hardest ship part is for me the 3 times ship. First 3 times ship. After that, it isn't so bad. No, the hardest part for me is that after the mini UFO part, there's that part with the free jumpings, and sometimes I mess that up, and it's very hard for me. Next up is Theory 2. Theory 2 I find easier than Clubstep and Deadlock because the wave parts aren't that hard, the ship parts aren't that hard, the UFO parts are actually very easy, and the ball parts too. Next step, I find that lock to be easier than club step. It has less harder ship parts, because ship parts aren't that bad and that locked compared to club step. And the UFO parts too. The UFO parts aren't nearly as hard as club step. They are way easier than club step. The bar parts are so easy, much simpler than ones of club step. And also the cube sections are pretty easy here too. The wave parts are pretty tough, but the robot parts are extremely easy. So super easy. Club step is the hardest for me because the ship parts and the UFO parts are very hard. They are insane. So hard. It took me 220 attempts. Club step is so hard because of that. After the middle cube section, no, not the second one, the third one, there was a part that was very hard for me. And also the upside down ship part, when you turn normal and then go upside down and then go up and then change upside down again. That is so hard. It's the hardest part of any rock top though. It's so hard. So that was my Geometry Dash main level ranking. Oh yeah, I forgot to rank the challenge. The challenge is pretty easy. The challenge is pretty easy. And I died. I think it's around the same difficulty as Jumper? No, dry out. No, base. It's pretty easy. And we're gonna end with Deadlocked. That was great one, but I missed as usual every time at the mini wave slow part.